Not Jermaine, now what we doing?
The same thing that we talked about we were going to do in the DMs before you picked Jermaine.
2026, we're doing it.
Promise?
Remember, you promised. You the promoter.
Well, I got your, listen, in the DMs, I got your word on it. All right, just stand on it. Good luck, handle that business, okay? All right.
Playing, though. Keyshawn, you know you didn't have to fight this guy that you fighting right now. You know you could be fighting Devin next, right? You know that, right? I'll show the email.
I didn't know that.
I'll show you the text right now with him, you know, because with our game, it's DTC, man, direct to consumer, man. You did? No, we going to DMs. I mean, come on, man. You know, if you really wanted to fight Devin, you would call Dre. You know that's the big homie. Man, Dre phone is quiet as a mother right now.
I'm gonna whoop your ass, so-called Debo. You know what happened to Debo at the end of the movie? He got hit with a brick. Debo might get hit with a brick. Talk some Latins and Spanish people. Nah, don't pick on them. Pick on me. Keep picking on Craig, and you're gonna figure out what's gonna happen.
Keyshawn Davis is not simply pursuing a championship opportunity. He is targeting the foundation of an entire reign. He has made his intentions loud and unmistakable, speaking with sharp disrespect and unshakable self-belief, staring directly at Bill Haney and warning that the man he calls a bully is about to face serious consequences. Bill Haney, in turn, has reacted emotionally, brushing off the warning as if it were nothing more than humor, yet his visible frustration suggests the opposite. The exchange has moved beyond routine promotion and standard pre-fight hype. What began as verbal sparring has evolved into something far more personal, with pride and legacy now at stake. Davis is positioning himself not just as another challenger, but as the fighter determined to dismantle everything the Haneys have built. His words carry the tone of someone who believes the current chapter of dominance is nearing its end. To grasp why tensions have escalated to this level, it is essential to examine the moment that sparked this confrontation and turned competitive ambition into a deeply rooted rivalry.
Hey, where the hell Debo at? Talk all that shit, man. Where Devin? Where Debo at? So-called Debo. Where Devin at? Where Debo? You ain't see him? Nigga hot, man. Debo! Hey, Debo! Where the hell you at, man? What you doing? Hey, where is Debo? We looking for you. We on the block. Debo got hit with a brick. Y'all already know how I'm coming. Yeah. Debo, where you at? He scared his brick.
Keyshawn Davis did far more than secure a victory in his most recent outing. He delivered a chilling statement to everyone at lightweight. He faced Jermaine Ortiz, a fighter who had pushed elite names like Vasily Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez to their limits, and accomplished something neither of them managed to do. Instead of edging out a decision, Davis closed the show, finishing Ortiz with a stoppage in the 12th round. That late TKO marked a turning point in his career and immediately justified the growing attention around him. In a single night, he shed the label of rising talent and stepped into the conversation as a serious danger to the division's top names. He did not hesitate to capitalize on that momentum. As soon as the post-fight interview began, he avoided the usual gratitude speeches and skipped over safe callouts. With the spotlight on him, he fixed his gaze on the lens and made his intentions unmistakable, publicly setting his sights on Devin Haney without any hesitation.
You're at 140 pounds, but you said you might not be here that long. Who's on your hit list next?
Everybody.
Devin Haney.
Why is that the fight for you?
His father in my DMs keeps screenshotting stuff that we saying. I don't know what he's screenshotting it for, but Devin Haney definitely on my hit list, and we making that happen 2026.
Congratulations.
When a title holder is challenged, the standard move is to remain composed and unbothered, but Bill Haney chose a different approach and immediately fired back, and it did not come across well. Through a string of heated responses, he attempted to reduce Keyshawn to a punchline, portraying him as an entertainer rather than a genuine contender. He criticized the newer wave of fighters, grouping Keyshawn alongside names like Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez, arguing that they are more focused on chasing big checks than proving themselves as true competitors. However, the force of his reaction created the opposite effect. Rather than diminishing Keyshawn's credibility, the emotional tone made it appear as though Bill was protecting territory instead of welcoming competition. Supporters began raising a straightforward point. If Keyshawn truly poses no threat and lacks the ability to win, then why invest so much energy in discrediting him? Why not accept the matchup, secure what should be an uncomplicated victory, and collect the financial reward without all the resistance.
Funny how the Latino men turn into comedians when Debo come around. Like, none of them are tough. The one and only, I think, tough guy, and then he was on the Ostarine, and then the other one was on the Ostarine, and I'm like, where's the tough Ricans at?
Garcia's Mexican, Subriel is Puerto Rican, and he was also on Ostarine.
Hispanic men, Rolly turned into a comedian, a Cuban comic, Tio turned into an Ecuadorian comic.
No,
Honduran comic, Ryan Garcia, Mexican comic.
Puerto Rican.
So now, Xander Zayas is a Puerto Rican comic. It's more blacks that's riding with the comics than is there people that's ride with the comedy. Where Bad Bunny is said represent the culture, it didn't represent comedy. They were boxing. That represents boxing. The comedy is over here. I don't know a particular part of the Super Bowl that I seen him show.
The rivalry exploded online when Bill Haney compared his son Devin to Debo, the feared enforcer from the film Friday, presenting him as the dominant, untouchable force in the weight class. The comparison was supposed to reinforce Devin's image as the division's authority figure, someone nobody dares to challenge. But Keyshawn responded with precision, stepping into the role of Craig, the underestimated character who ultimately stands up to the bully. He reminded everyone how that storyline concludes, pointing out that Debo ends up getting struck down with a brick, a clear suggestion that he possesses the tool to level Devin in the ring. The exchange shifted the entire tone of the narrative. What was intended as a show of strength quickly became material for a counterpunch that resonated far beyond the initial clip. Social media amplified the moment, replaying and dissecting every word. In a matter of hours, the framing changed. Instead of portraying Devin as an untouchable presence, the conversation turned toward the possibility that he could be caught and stopped.
I'm gonna whoop your ass, so-called Debo. You know what happened to Debo at the end of the movie? He got hit with a brick. Debo might get hit with a brick. Talk some Latins and Spanish people. Nah, don't pick on them. Pick on me. Keep picking on Craig, and you're gonna figure out what's gonna happen. You're gonna get hit with a brick. And I ain't playing. You know I ain't playing. Hit with a brick. Hit. Belt, nigga. So organic, so genuine. Pick on me. I want you to pick on me. Tell Debo come this way. What you talking about? You know what Craig did to him.
Setting aside the pop culture references, Keyshawn has also raised pointed critiques that cut directly at the Haney camp. He has publicly challenged Devin's effectiveness as he climbs the weight ladder, arguing that although Devin is fundamentally skilled, his punching impact has not carried upward to 140 and 147 pounds. According to Keyshawn, the lack of stopping power at those divisions means he can apply steady pressure without worrying about serious damage coming back his way. He did not stop at stylistic analysis either. He shifted into personal territory, labeling Devin as overly sheltered and heavily dependent on his father's guidance. The storyline he is constructing presents Devin as a carefully built champion shaped by favorable circumstances, while positioning himself as the fighter forged through hardship and urgency. The implication is clear. When adversity intensifies inside the ropes, Keyshawn believes Devin will struggle to respond because he has not experienced the same level of resistance or hardship throughout his path.
There've been people out here that do take steroids, and you can tell that guy was off steroids. Mm-hmm. And you know, I actually know a person personally that his career changed. He was the top prospect doing great. He fought a guy with steroids, and it changed his whole career. It changed how he talked. It changed everything. So us seeing Devin Haney doing all of this with a person that had 0.1 estrogen, and we all seen that Ryan Garcia was still in there getting tired. It's like, bro, I'm sorry. There's no other word to put this. You're a bitch. Excuse my language. That's how I feel. You're soft. You don't know how to take your L's. You a person that been given everything all your life, a daddy's boy, making sure you've been straight all your life, and now you took your first loss. I feel like you don't even know how to take it. Granted, I wasn't in there fighting Ryan Garcia, but you asked me how I feel. You done took it always as suing and all that extra shit. I feel like, bro, you soft, bro.
At a point when the matchup appeared unrealistic, Keyshawn introduced a new twist that shifted the conversation. He disclosed that communication had already taken place privately before Bill Haney's public criticism began. According to him, he and Devin had been messaging each other directly, and the tone in those exchanges was far more open. Keyshawn claims Devin showed interest in making the fight happen, allegedly responding with a clear willingness to move forward. That detail created the impression of differing positions within the Haney camp. It raised the possibility that Devin, as the competitor, may be prepared to accept the challenge, while Bill, acting in a managerial role, is exercising caution. The contrast adds another layer to the ongoing narrative, reinforcing the perception that external decision-making could be slowing progress. As a result, attention has shifted toward whether strategic hesitation, rather than competitive reluctance, is the primary factor preventing the proposed showdown from materializing.
I want to fight Devin Haney, bro.
Okay.
I'll fight anybody, to your point, though. I'll fight anybody, bro, that really makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And I'll fight Africa. I'll fight Africa. But I want to fight Devin Haney, bro. I really want to fight him.
Keyshawn didn't hold back with subtle digs. He went straight for the most sensitive points by bringing Ryan Garcia into the mix. He questioned how Devin responded to that loss, claiming he deflected responsibility instead of facing defeat head-on. By highlighting that fight, Keyshawn is underlining that Devin is far from untouchable, implying that both his durability and his psychological resilience can falter under pressure. It's a sharp tactic, aimed squarely at getting under Devin's skin. The mention forces a reminder of a past setback, spotlighting a moment where he struggled, and simultaneously challenges him to show that he has fully recovered and can handle adversity without breaking.
I think if I go in there and knock people out like I'm saying I'm doing, I'm gonna get there. I mean, it's all God's time, and God got a real plan for me in this sport, you know, so I can't go off a man's or a woman's judgment. I just can't. God is, you know, he have the ultimate answer, so each fight is going to be strategic, his planning, you know what I'm saying, just like Jermaine Ortiz. Like, Jermaine Ortiz can really fight, and I was out for an entire year, and I took on this fight, you know what I'm saying, so, and I stopped him, you know what I'm saying, so, man, put anybody in front of me, like, I'm stopping them. Can't nobody beat me. And to your point, if you want to talk about fighters, I've been calling out Devin Haney lately, and they've been going crazy on the media, you know what I'm saying?
The question now is whether Keyshawn is truly prepared or if he's overestimating himself. Opinions in the boxing community are sharply divided. On one side, figures like Kenny Ellis, who trains Jermaine Davis, caution that Keyshawn may be accelerating his trajectory too quickly. Ellis insists that he needs more experience in championship rounds before taking on a technically gifted fighter like Devin Haney. Conversely, other up-and-coming fighters, including Bruce Carrington, view the matchup as evenly poised. Carrington highlights Keyshawn's diverse skill set and his knack for finishing fights as factors that could level the playing field, framing it as a genuine 50-50 contest.
He said, you know, that the Keyshawn Davis and Haney seems like it's going to be put together. I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
That's a really good fight. I do feel like Keyshawn has a great chance at, you know, doing well in that fight. I think that Devin has the experience on his side, but Keyshawn has a lot of tricks up his sleeve, and he's looking strong. He's looking really strong his last few fights. And he made a point, I think, in his post-fight interview, like, a lot of people not giving him credit for his last few wins. Like, he's been stopping guys that's never been stopped. Like, Jermaine Ortiz is a legit fighter. Legit. And he's never been stopped, and Keyshawn did that. You know what I mean? And looked fresh in the 12th round, too. Like, you know, like, he had total control of that whole fight against a guy that's given Teofimo trouble, Lomachenko trouble. That just shows you the type of level that Keyshawn is on. So, I don't think that him fighting Devin is a reach whatsoever. Like, that's gonna be a solid fight.
Who you have winning that fight?
I genuinely don't know. I do think that Devin is a naturally bigger guy, but Keyshawn's not that small though. I ain't gonna front. Like, Keyshawn, even though he's going up in weight, he's not that small. I think that's a tough fight. I ain't gonna lie. People might, you know, go to Devin and go his route because, you know, they're more familiar with Devin. And, you know, he's as big as he is as a fighter, but that's a 50-50 fight in terms of experience and who got the deeper bag. I think naturally Keyshawn has the deeper bag, though. I think it's just more so like, I think he's more athletically talented than...
The Schofields weighed in with their forecast as well. Floyd Schofield Jr. originally labeled the matchup as evenly matched, insisting that either fighter could come out on top.
But in the same time, how do you feel about him and Haney? I mean, it seems like they're more on a closer level than a Conor Ben.
Like him versus Haney?
Yeah.
That's a good fight. That's 50-50. I ain't gonna lie. That's a fight whoever show up. I mean, neither one of them got the power to stop each other.
So you're saying Shakur is gonna move up to 140 and Shakur gonna move up to 147 and Keyshawn gonna stay at 140? No, because one of them gonna have to move up. Jay Prince playing field, Mason 135. One of them got to be at 140, and one got to move to 147 because they not all fighting each other.
And Keyshawn said he want Devin.
See, Keyshawn want Devin. So is they gonna swap? From your question, like, do you think they're gonna swap and let Shakur get Devin and Keyshawn stay at 140?
The way it sounds, I mean, if you're trying to put a rehydration, my brother's bigger than me, it does look like that. It looks like Keyshawn's gonna take the Devin Haney work.
See, so that's all that is the great Jay Prince is lining his court up so that they don't run into each other in his streams.
Schofield Sr., on the other hand, expressed doubt about Keyshawn's ability to handle Devin, arguing that Davis is undersized at 147 pounds. He pointed to Devin's recent bout with Brian Norman Jr., noting that Haney displayed sharper skills and posed a bigger threat than in his past fights. He dismissed Keyshawn's win over Jermaine Ortiz as somewhat fortunate, suggesting it inflated his reputation. Despite the skepticism, Schofield Sr. acknowledged the potential of the matchup, calling it an exciting contest and highlighting how compelling it is to watch both fighters evolve. He emphasized that they are still young, in their 20s, and that the best years of their careers are likely still ahead.
Devin is Devin. Devin going to show up. It's going to be a great fight with either one of them. Because Devin took a loss, and he don't want to take another loss, whether he got it cleaned off his record or not. He don't want to take another one.
Fight though, I ain't gonna lie.
Both of them are good fight. I don't think Keyshawn is gonna beat Devin. I really don't believe Keyshawn will beat Devin.
Too much experience? Why?
I don't know. I just don't see. But off my prediction yesterday, I'm not gonna get that because people will say things. But skill wise, I don't believe this new Devin that showed up his last fight. Keyshawn is going to be able to run through like he did Ortiz, a smaller guy who seemed like he didn't want to be in there.
I ain't gonna lie, as much as I don't like Devin, I did not expect Devin to do that to Norm. So, and Norm was catching him too and didn't even buckle Devin, so I don't know.
And Keyshawn's performance wasn't great. It was good he stopped him, that the referee gave him a gift. Because the ref stopped it. He didn't even give Ortiz a chance to stand up. Not saying Ortiz would have won, but it wouldn't have been a knockout in that 12 seconds. No, that's what I'm saying, but it wouldn't have been a knockout. The ref gave that gift. He didn't even get his man the count to get up to 8. So, or to 10. So, I don't know. I would want to see the Keyshawn and Devin fight.
Key do got some dog in him, so I would like to see that.
I like the new version of them, though. I like the God more in it. The maturity of seeing them grow up as fathers. Like, just to see these young men get into these points is amazing. And they still in their 20s. So I can imagine them in their 30s.
While analysts and fighters have been fueling the hype around this matchup, Thomas Lamanna dismissed the idea of Haney facing Davis anytime soon. He criticized the Haneys for calling out multiple opponents, but ultimately taking an unexpected route. Lamanna downplayed the whole Debo versus Craig narrative, suggesting that Devin is unlikely to step into the ring with Keyshawn next. Instead, he's reportedly targeting a bout with Xander Zaz at 154 pounds, a fight Lamanna believes holds greater reward for Devin. He shared his perspective on why that matchup makes more sense strategically, offering a different angle on what's truly next for Haney.
Potential fight. Don't know if we're going to get it yet. Devin Haney, Keyshawn Davis.
Those two fighting?
Yeah. Could possibly happen. Keyshawn is pressing for it. Seems like Devin's interested, but it seems like Devin's interested in just about everybody. So what's your thoughts?
Yeah, man. Devin, despite what you say, man, Devin, he fights. They have the little saying, man, y'all say everything except let's fight, right? He talks about that whole Debo shit. Sometimes he gives that energy. Sometimes he gives strategic matchmaking energy. Strategic, placement, matchmaking, whatever you want to call it. So do I think that fight happens next? No. I could definitely see, you just mentioned Xander. I could see a Xander and Devin.
Yeah?
Yeah, going up to 154.
Why?
Fighting Xander for sure for like WBO. Because WBA is going to become, that's going to be boots, man. I'm like 99.100% positive. Xander would just not fight boots and, you know, be stripped, you know, give up the belt. We're fighting Devin, because it's also, too, a fight with Devin is a bigger money fight, I think. It's more of a legacy thing for Devin, obviously going up and fighting Xander and becoming, what is it, 4-weight or 3-weight?
4.
It'll be 4, right? That's legendary shit.
When pressed on the likelihood of Devin facing Xander Zaz instead of Keyshawn Davis, LaManna gave it a 60-40 split in favor of Zaz. He was also asked to predict how Devin would fare against both opponents and delivered a surprising forecast, suggesting that Davis could actually defeat Devin at 147 pounds.
You think that to Xander it's an easier fight?
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Oh yeah. Xander, what, against Devin than Keyshawn?
Well, to Xander, is Devin an easier fight to move?
Fuck yeah. What's the worst that can happen? You get outboxed? And you might get picked on for getting outboxed by a 130-pounder originally?
Yeah.
Instead of getting clipped by, you know what I mean, a guy that puts his life in every shot. I'm cool.
Give me a percentage.
Of what?
Xander to Keyshawn. Which one we get next?
See, I could also see Rolly Romero coming out of left field.
I think he's about to fight Conor.
Yeah?
Yeah. Which I understand. 90,000 at Wembley is 90,000 at Wembley.
Yeah. I mean, then... All right, so like that was something I wouldn't have been surprised of, like a Roldy and a Devin. Well then, shit. If it's those two, Keyshawn or Xander, 60-40 Xander maybe, I guess? Going up and chasing that?
Who wins those? Hypothetically, if he faced Xander, who wins? If he faced Keyshawn, who wins?
I think he'll outbox Xander, barely, because size does matter. And then Keyshawn, man, alright. I think Keyshawn probably won't be the favorite, but he pulls off like an upset by...
The general outlook appears to be changing. A matchup that once seemed one-sided a year ago is now viewed as a real 50-50 contest, and that very unpredictability is what drives interest and excitement in boxing.
No matter what the color, no matter what the side, when the man is down, it's hard for me to kick him. You know what I mean? I like for him to get back to being who Keyshawn is, the decorated amateur fighter, the fighter that's fighting for his family, the fighter that's treated like a business and not like any of these indescriptive gangs or any of these other things that you guys are trying to describe when it's just three brothers fighting against the world. And then they're a gang. I mean, with me and Devin, we fight against the world. I mean, what are you going to call us?
Whether Bill Haney approves or not, this matchup is generating its own momentum. The Debo versus Craig narrative has taken on a life of its own, with Keyshawn Davis establishing himself as the pursuer. Each time Bill erupts in public, he inadvertently boosts Keyshawn's visibility and fuels the audience's desire to see the fight happen. While a 2026 showdown may be on the horizon, the tension is already in full swing. Now it's your turn. Do you think Bill is shielding Devin, or is Keyshawn overestimating his own abilities? Drop your take in the comments. Are you Team Debo or Team Craig? That wraps up today's breakdown. If you found it engaging, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss future updates. Share your thoughts below, stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video.